we're always going to close it out here with RVDology, something that you've done on YouTube before. I think it's fascinating, and it's a really cool way to kind of, I think, cap off the show. It's kind of like I told you initially in the pitch, is like Jerry Springer's final thoughts. Rest in peace. But we can. So I want to give you the floor. We'll close out the show with this. But before we do that, though, let's. What do you got going on? What can we plug? What's happening in the
Well,
world of
May
RVD?
21st, I'm in Baltimore. I'm not. That's my next time that I leave town to go somewhere. Filming another Dark Side of the Ring before then. That's coming back if you didn't know, but this might even be for the next season because this guy's not even advertised in the ones that they're advertising for this coming season. So anyway, I'm trying to keep my appearances up now at robvandam.com. I've had the website forever, and I forget sometimes for years that I have it. Recently I realized that I had it updated, but I'm going to figure out how to keep it updated so I can keep my upcoming appearances and recent news on there. That's mostly what's important there. The links to my other stuff, but on YouTube, that's how you can keep up with me and see all the current stuff. I have it, right now I'm a couple of weeks behind, so that's because I've been so busy, but I got it. But anyway, yeah, one of the things I do on there is RVDology. And this is, a lot of people, for some reason, if I post some thoughts, I have people that feel like they're my parents for some reason. And they feel like they should tell me, like, Rob, you need to do more of this, or hey, go do less of this. It's time Rob, you're this old. You need to do this or that or whatever. And it's like, man, I resent that so much. I've always kind of pushed back against just the traditional pressure.
Yeah.
And the pressure to conform, what I mean? Because for me, it's always been like, what's wrong with asking questions instead of being a blind sheep and just going with the flock? My dad always encouraged me to ask questions. With RVDology, this is the way I do it. So you can't say that I'm wrong at the way that I'm doing my own philosophy and my own thoughts.
Yep.
You can't. You can say that you disagree with them, and that's fine. But nonetheless, these are, and there's a bunch of these episodes on there. These are some values that I myself use and have found them to be very successful in helping me achieve a better life. I'm 52 years old. I wouldn't go backwards for anything. Like, my life gets better and better the longer I'm around, and the more I learn about how to make my life better. And the more I learn how to prioritize and how to pay attention to things that pick my energy up and how to ignore things that bring my energy down. And the payoff is just tremendous in the quality of life. I mean, I don't know if that comes across, but a lot of people live with a lot of stress, a lot of hate. They put out a lot of negative comments. Maybe they hate their job, they hate their family, they hate their car, they hate where they live, blah, blah, blah. That's not me. And so I can't tell everybody, hey, you shouldn't do what you're doing. You should do what I'm doing. But I do offer up. I'm just offering up my ways. And, from the feedback, it is helping a lot of people, I am a positive energy kind of person. So people that are energy vampires, I'm very apparent that they're around. And I've had friends that the more I learned about what I needed, the less I could be around them just because of the life they had to offer me by hanging out with them, And so let me use this as an example. You might be the kind, let's say you're driving down the road and all of a sudden a car comes very fast beside you, passes you, and then pulls over in front of you. And then they have to slow down and then take the exit that's there like really quick. All right. A lot of people will be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Had to go up there and pass me just to make that fucking exit like that. I would be thinking, I wonder why that guy had to go up there that fast. Maybe he didn't realize that the exit was going to be there that quick. Maybe his wife's pregnant. I don't know, but I know that there is a reason. And
Yeah.
basic thinkers can't think that far. They can only think just the one stage of how everything affects them. They don't have any empathy, and it's the majority of people, I fear, the majority of the status quo. And I think that a lot of people think it's okay to be that way. I would argue against that point, at least for me. If you want to be cool like RVD, then first off, you might say, "Hey, that was a good move. I can't believe you actually cut over 3 lanes and made that. Good job, bro.
Impressive."
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more about giving energy, you know. So I talk about a subject, and then I always, by the way, RVDology is full of stories that nobody has ever heard, ever.
I
They're
didn't hear
all
the yeah.
no,
The Mike Starr
nobody.
story you told and all that stuff. I didn't know any of that.
Which one was it?
The Mike Starr story. It was, I think, the one with commitment. I
Oh,
believe it was.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Well, no, what people think about you. That was it. What people
Okay.
think. Yep.
Well, anyway, yeah, they're all. I always end them in stories, to try to relate when I learned some lessons that are relevant the subject, and they're all stories and no one's ever heard of. And by the way, I also do that and elaborate on different stories that no one else has heard that I'm collecting on audio, and they're all going to be part of a project in the near future. So that's something too. But here's something: the most basic rule of RVDology that I think that everybody should be able to accept. And then once you accept it, you have to make it part of your new perspective. You have to reprogram yourself as an adult if you're trying to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell anyone you have to do this or you should do that. But if you're interested in like spiritual growth, you have to reprogram yourself as an adult. So by the way, if anybody has a doobie, this is a good time to.
This is the good time to light it up. Rob, I'm going to give you the whole floor here. So
Smoke our way up. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, cool. So eat, sleep, smoke, repeat. Here's something that I run into all the time, and it's frustrating. But frustration is a negative vibe, so I try not to hold on to it. And usually, just awareness, pointing something out, is dealing with it to a great enough extent to where hopefully it won't frustrate you anymore. But here's the thing. We all have our own values. Boom. That's it. Like if I could have a church of RVDologists, I would have them repeat that 1,000 times until they know that it's true. Because it answers so many questions and so much unnecessary drama with people. When you're a kid, it might be like, ooh, why are you wearing those shoes? Or why do you hang out with that guy? Or ooh, why do you like that song? Anything, or why do you play that musical instrument? Whatever it is, you know what I mean? I hated all that. I hated trying to fit in. I hated other people trying to tell me that my values didn't work and that I should use their values instead. That's never made sense to me. But still, at 52, I see so many basic thinkers that need to be reminded this. They don't understand, like, man, why does she like that guy? I'd beat his ass. Well, you know what? She might not be into whoever's the toughest. This isn't caveman days. I had to learn that one myself. That's a little primal for some of the things you can offer a lady now. Anyway, we all have our own values, and you should not expect other people to have the exact same values as you. Usually, the more values we share with somebody, the more we'll enjoy their company. The easier it'll be to hang out with them. But if they're a little bit, their values are different, guess what? That can add to the experience as well, and just make it more entertaining to be with each other. Um, Katie and I share so many of the same values. I never thought that I would want to date someone in the entertainment business, because I see what goes on with the traveling, and with the girls traveling with the guys and this and that. Um, but when Katie and I started dating, it was like magic, and I realized that we understood each other's goals, priorities. We understood business, everything about it, and we had such a bond that we can trust each other regardless of what we see other people doing, and it's fucking amazing, and the payoff is incredible. Now, where she has some other values. That's great. I love to see her happy. Um, I don't have to be into twerking to know that she enjoys it. And I'll tell you this, I would much rather be with a group of 5 girls that are twerking and screaming and having fun and putting each other over, said, yes, you're hot, than being in a group of 5 dudes that are saying, girls are fucking stupid. I hate that twerking. Forget about it. Put me in the group with the girls every time. Uh, and and the reason I say that they put each other over, that's true too. Other girls that just want to hate on the girls, that's something too that does not is not conducive to RVDology. Putting people down, finding a negative thing. If it's joking or whatever, or you're going for shock value, so you point out something just to laugh, but it's inside and you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. That there's reasons for everything, but um, take trolls. I somebody put a shitty comment, something, maybe it was RVD looks old or something, something on Twitter. It was opposite of what everyone else said. And I was like, let me see who this person is. And every single one of their comments, and it was to all different fields of entertainment, was all just bullshit. It was like the Rams sucked this year. And then it was like, this is the worst season for so and so. They didn't have any followers. I was like, what a horrible person that just wants to spit that out into the universe. And what kind of a life can you expect from that? What, you're surrounding yourself with the shit that you're spewing out of your mouth, and you're burying yourself in your own little dark feces filled apartment. So everyone has their own values, and doesn't mean you have to agree with them. There's pedophiles out there, and hey, I'm not going to accept that value. Well, you don't have to. There are lines. We all draw lines. We don't all draw lines in the same place. That's another RVDology episode, by the way. And something that you have to know, because it is value based where we draw our lines. A lot of people would do a lot of things that I would never do, but guess what? I'm all right with that. I don't have to know why this person wants to do this thing that I don't want to do, how this person could stand doing this. It's okay. We're all different. And when it comes to even physical, we have our own body chemistry. We react differently to different things. I said something recently on a post that I had been working on depleting sugar, and I feel good. Oh, I said I don't get addicted to anything.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't, and so that is, I'm not putting that up there and saying, tell me I'm wrong. But these people would say, well, you will get addicted to coffee if you drink it 4 days in a row and quit. Hey, fuck you. You think that I haven't done that before I made that statement? At 52 years old, you don't think that I have drank coffee and then stopped enough times to feel comfortable saying that I don't get addicted to it? And I don't. And the same thing with pot. I can smoke it all day for several days, and then I can go several days without, no problem. I could do that with pain pills. Although I do get a little restless leg
syndrome.
Yeah, a little bit when I'm if I do that with opiates, or even kratom will do that if I've taken a lot of it for several days and then stop. So that is a type of withdrawal. But yeah, I just don't understand, why can people not accept that we're all different, because that is everything that I stand for. That's why this show is one of a kind, because my perspective is going to be different. It always is. I'm used to that now. I'm used to the fact that I see things different than other people. It's cool to look at me in the ring and say, "Oh, I like RVD's Rolling Thunder," but if you watch this and you watch me, you're going to see how the sausage is made, because I think outside the box all the time, and some people just can't do that, and they can't accept that that can be done. And how the hell is somebody going to tell me this is what's going to happen to your body if you do this? If you drink 6 cups a day for 3 days and then you stop, you will get headaches and you will get shaky hands. Fuck you. You are so ignorant. Why do you feel like you can say that to other people that you don't know? Anyway, I'm trying to make a point because I'm one of a kind, and I think that we all are. And I think that it's important for me to remind everybody that we're all unique. We all got our own chances in life. And, if you think you're just a spot filler, then you're just a background character and that's how you live your life, then, hey, more power to you. But if you think you might have some things in common with RVD here, it's not just about being able to kick ass and do a sweet 5-star frog splash. It's also about using my head. I like to think. I like to inspire other people to think, and that's what I want to leave today on. Is check out the Real RVD YouTube. You're welcome to look at every RVDology episode. There's 20 or so on there, maybe more, and leave comments. Let me know also if you have any thoughts about it, because that's why I do it. We're all different. We all have different values based on our own perspectives in our own lives. It doesn't mean that everybody's should be treated equal, but it does mean that it's okay that this person likes to read comic books and you don't. Don't create drama. Don't create any disturbance in the force if you want to master RVDology.
Well, you're right. Like, there's a whole lot of basic thinkers out there, and you can see it. And the fact that if you're able to kind of just go from the look of, hey, we all got different values. We all look at things a different way, and it's just people are not going to line up with you, and you might not vibe with that person very well. It's just, and if empathy is a big thing too that you mentioned, and I think that's a huge takeaway. Is like, no, you're not thinking about, like, if somebody's kind of a dick to you, or you're walking by, nobody says hello. Say, a lot of the times too, I would say hi to people. Growing up in rural Pennsylvania, I'm like, okay, I say hi to people, and like, if somebody doesn't say hi back, I initially would probably have got offended or been upset, or that guy's an asshole or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe they're just having a shitty day, I would give them another chance, or maybe they didn't hear me. Another thing that could that be? It's just like, you got to think a little outside of things a little bit, and that's what RVDology is doing, man. So,
basic thinkers do not use empathy. They don't understand that the other person that they're talking about isn't just a character in their life. That person is doing what they're doing for a reason. Just because you don't know the reason doesn't mean there's no reason. There's definitely a reason. And it's one thing to just say, yeah, I do get that. I understand that. But it's another thing to have that perspective all the time. And that's what I call empathetic, is when you have that perspective and you know that, if you push this dude out in the street and gets hit by a car, that sucked for him. You're not just laughing because it was cool for you.
Yeah.
There's horrible people out there. But there's good ones too. And
Yep.
they're the good ones that listen to us.
It's a one of a kind here, and it's one of a kind here. We thank you for joining us for episode 1 here. We can't wait to keep on going here. It's going to be a fun time, and we'll kick on a whole bunch of different subjects. So
yeah, let's take requests on what people want to see too.
Yes, absolutely. And hey, we always want to take questions too. As Rob mentioned, RVD YouTube, you can go right up top here, rvdpod.com. It'll lead you right to there. So go there, like, subscribe. But then also, if you guys want to ask questions, we're gonna end this. We'll end the show too, along with RVDology, but we'll end it with Ask RVD. So he'll field fan questions, all that stuff. We'll get you on here and get some of your feedback. Yeah, feedback, anything.
We'll try to get our doobies worth at the end of the show.
That's right. And next episode too, I will talk to you about my interaction with marijuana. I'm a very novice when it comes to that, but yeah, I have some stories to tell. So we can touch upon that coming up.
And we'll do this again next week, eh?
Yep, absolutely. So okay, guys, we'll see you here next week on One of a Kind with.
Oh
yeah,
one of a kind.